How's it going, everybody? It is episode 15 of the Devil's Den. I'm joined alongside Chris. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Doing good. How about you?
I mean, I'm not feeling too great after the Fulham match, but we move at the current pace we're at right now. It's not looking too good for Ten Hag, but we'll see how it goes. So first, let's get started. Before we get into the podcast, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like the video, or subscribe to this Spotify as well. And first topic, Chris. Do you think Ten Hag could get sacked anytime soon?
No, no. I don't think there's any chance of him getting sacked soon. Obviously, the Fulham game was rubbish, and we've seen that happen a lot this season. But before going into the Fulham match, we were, I think, 7 games unbeaten, 5 wins on the bounce, unbeaten in 2024. This was our first loss of the year. So recently, over the last couple of weeks, performances have slightly gone better. Results have started to come our way. We've seen players like Kobe Mainu and Rasmus Hojlund really get into the team. So there was a bit of cohesiveness starting to form. Obviously, with the injury crisis and everything, it's tough to maintain that consistency. And against Fulham, I wasn't able to watch the game, so I maybe not have the best opinions on it. I saw the goals, but it just kind of looked like one of those performances that we have seen in this season, like really lackluster, no team chemistry at all. It looked all over the place from what I've seen, and I'm sure you can agree to that, and most United fans can agree to that.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. I agree with you. I don't think he's going to get sacked realistically. Should he get sacked? It's a different question. I'm leaning towards no right now, but I'm not fully, I'm not confidently saying no. But at the same time, the Fulham match, I watched it and oh boy, did I not want to watch it because it was awful. It was, sometimes people will clip certain highlights or whatever where we'll have, a nice string of passes and it'll lead to a goal or something. And people will be like, oh, look, Ten Hag does have a style of play and stuff like this. But for me, every time I watch us play, the only time I really see us have a sort of style of play is when he has his strongest 11. And as a coach in the Premier League, you can't really expect to always have the strongest 11. Yes, that would be ideal. But, injuries are a thing. And although we've gotten fairly unlucky this season, that just tends to happen in sports in general. So you have to be able to find a way around that. And certain managers, Jose Mourinho was really good at this. Even sometimes, this is a crazy shout, but Ole was actually pretty good at coming up with a random strategy when it came to certain games. I'm telling you, look at his record against Pep Guardiola.
I completely agree.
Because against Pep Guardiola, we weren't playing the most beautiful football, but we would actually compete against them. I want to say it was like probably 50-50 between Pep and Ole whenever Ole was at United, because he had some pretty big performances from certain players in some of those games. But again, under Ole, we never saw any type of style of play ever. But with Ten Hag at this point, it seems like he just relies on the team being fully fit for him to be able to employ what he wants to do, which for me it's kind of, I don't know what the word is, but it seems like at this point he kind of needs to adapt or else he might go, because you got to be able to deal with the injuries. You got to be able to deal with Hojlund, like we just saw, got that 2 to 3 week injury out of nowhere. It wasn't even in a match. It was, I believe it was in practice or something. And so you got to be able to adjust to that and have a backup plan for, hey, look, Hojlund's out. We need to find some way to, put Martial back in, or maybe not Martial back in, but put Rashford up top, and then at right wing, we got to find a good solution there. And for Fulham, we put Omari Forson, the young academy player, who just got his first start, which is pretty cool. But in my opinion, I'm not sure he was really up for it. He didn't seem like he was really having much of an impact in the match. But to be fair to him, the whole team wasn't really playing very well. So it's kind of hard for an academy player to play well when the rest of the team is not. If you look at City or even Liverpool, they're able to bring their academy players in when they're playing with really great style of football. They're probably dominating the match already as it is. And then Man City can just bring on a young striker and he'll probably score a goal or something because they're already up like 3-0. So it's just a lot easier for an academy player to come in when the team is thriving and stuff like that. But at United, it's really unstable. So I think throwing Amari Forson in there was kind of interesting move. For me, I would have put Ahmad in there. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you look back in the Fulham game, I guess we can kind of deeply dive into that. The performance just was not good at all. And I don't need to look at the stats really to tell Fulham kind of just bossed us on the pitch. And although I don't think they were, the thing is that Fulham wasn't even great. They could have been even better, in my opinion, and they still looked a lot better than us. We definitely didn't deserve a draw. We didn't deserve a win. And I don't know. I mean, it was kind of disappointing to see because I thought Fulham was a team that we could have got, especially at home, that we should have gotten at. And we beat them away. So
Yeah.
it was definitely a disappointing performance. And I'm not going to say that this performance alone will sack Ten Hag, but I don't know. It's not great on Ten Hag, especially because we just had some momentum, like you were saying, and the momentum for me. Yes, we hadn't lost in 2024 until the Fulham match, and yes, we've been playing okay and scoring a decent amount of goals, but it seemed like we were relying on certain performances from players like Hojlund, Delo was playing pretty well, Garnacho was playing pretty well, but then we lost Hojlund, and I don't know, it just seemed to fully fall apart in the attack. I mean, the only goal we got was a Harry Maguire goal off of a goalkeeper deflection. So I don't know, it was just all out of sorts attacking wise and defensively. They just, for me, it was so easy for them to transition. So anytime we lost the ball,
Mhm.
our midfield was just wide open. I don't know why that was the case because we had Casemiro, we had Kobe Manu. But again, Casemiro, another thing about his game is that he's very risky and he'll always get that yellow card in the first half, which makes it so he can't go in for tackles in the second half. And sometimes it looks like he might have gotten a second yellow in the Fulham match, but luckily the ref didn't call it. And then Ten Hag literally had to take him out. I think he took him out at halftime, pretty certain, which is kind of detrimental because you can't be having your players go off at halftime, especially impact players like that. So having him come off early, there's just a lot of factors going to the match that weren't helpful towards us. So for me, the result overall was concerning. Chris, do you find it concerning? Because I found it pretty deep concerning because we're going on a
Yeah.
pretty deep run now. We got to play some big teams,
Mhm.
so we need momentum. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I watched the highlights, and some of their, like you were saying, the transitions were, it's like our midfield was just non-existent. They would just play one pass, and they would already be in our final third. Like it, it is kind of worrying because it's been all season. This is like well into the second half of the season, and it from a structural point, nothing is from a setup point. Nothing is improved really, and it's like I think it was Iwobi had just so many. Just he was alone in front of our center back, so he can just get the ball from anywhere on the field because there was no coverage and there was just no real setup in that midfield. Everyone seemed to be all over the place. That was just from the highlights. I'm sure if you watched the game, it was even worse than that. But um, yeah, it's definitely
Yeah,
not a good outing, especially at home too. It's
yeah.
rough.
At home, you can't have Fulham go at you at home. It's just this
Hmm.
is not the old Manchester United. And
Yeah.
for me, if we look back at the game and take away something from the game,
Uh-huh.
my biggest takeaway was that a player like Ahmad should be playing way more
Totally.
because,
Yeah.
as we were just saying earlier, Amari Forson got the start, which congrats to him. But at the same time, Ahmad has been, how long has he been at United now? He's been here since the Ollie days.
Ole. Yeah.
So
Ole signed him.
yeah, so he's got to be getting some chances at some point, and he's gone on loan before. I feel like he's kind of ready, in my opinion. And every time he comes on, I swear it's pretty positive because I remember when he came on in this match. I mean, it's not like he scored a goal or anything, but he looked way more positive than any of our players out there were.
Hmm.
And so when you have him doing that in, I don't even know, the short stint of time that he was on the field for, he showed me more than pretty much all the starters did. So for me, it's just disappointing that he doesn't get many opportunities. And there's certain players like that I think should be getting way more play time, including a certain player like Alvaro Fernandez. A lot of United fans talked about him as, oh, it's kind of clear that he's going to leave after this season and go somewhere, which probably will end up happening, which is, in my opinion, unfortunate because he seems to be quite a promising player. And he went to Granada in the first half of the season and he played pretty well there. And then he moved to Benfica on another loan for the second half of the season. and he's been starting like every game for Benfica, and that's a pretty big side.
Hmm.
Benfica, I mean, are they in? They might be I think the Europa League now, but still, he's playing for a club like that that has big European history.
Yeah.
They're pretty. I mean, they're one of the best sides in Portugal. I feel like he's ready to be able to at least come in as a backup and back Shaw up
Hmm.
because I mean, you saw in the match, Shaw couldn't even finish the whole match, so it's disappointing that Shaw's out for such a long time, and he seems to have so many injuries lately. He's just not. He's a great player when we have him, and again, like I was saying earlier, Ten Hag relies on our team to be fully fit for us to be able to employ the
Hmm.
tactics he wants to employ, and I just with Shaw, I mean, he's integral for our team. He is really good at playing. We're good at playing through him. He's good at progressing the ball. He's good on the ball. I mean, he's a good defender as well. But the problem is, if you can't stay fit, your value for the team
Yeah.
is just so low. So for me, you really got to be looking at left back this summer. And I thought Alvaro Fernandez could be a future, starter
Hmm.
potentially at United. And then also you look at Tyrell Malacia, who hasn't played a single match all season.
What has happened to him?
Who even knows where this guy is?
He's been injured since the like end of last season or the summer.
Yeah,
It's pretty
it's
crazy
insane. And we've been told so
because
many times, oh, he's coming back soon. He's rehabbing
because
well.
they never even
Where?
said what happened to him. They never explained the injury really, so we all thought it was he'll be back in like soon or something. Like this is like
Yeah,
coming up on like ACL level length of injury. So it's like either
it's
they're hiding
insane.
something from us or the
Yeah,
rehabilitation team just fucking sucks.
yeah.
That's probably
Something
what it
something
is.
is up with the physios. The physios at
Uh huh.
United, man. They're just awful.
No,
I
it's
don't
a
know
whole
whether it's
other
an
story.
inside job from the
We
new
took
guy we
what
hired
we got
from the
Arsenal's
Arsenal guy. What was
Arsenal's
his name?
guy.
I forgot his name, but it seems like it's an inside job right now because our players just
Something
can't
is
come back to fitness, and then when they get fit, they're fit for a little bit, and
yeah.
then they're back to being not
I
fit.
mean, look at
Lissandro
Mount,
Martinez,
Martinez, Shaw,
Mount, Hoyland, also the same
Hojlund.
thing. It's just we need these players to be fit, and they're just not fit. And so I don't know whether it's something in training because a lot of them are getting injured in training, or whether they're just unlucky in matches. So I
I don't
can't
know.
speak, but I don't know, man. It's just something's got to be looked at next season to where they got to evaluate what Ten Hag is
Hmm.
doing in training because bro is cooking them or something. I don't even know what he's doing in there, but it's a problem. It's a genuine problem, and even Ahmad, like I was talking about Ahmad potentially coming in and playing,
Hmm.
he's been injured for a decent amount of the season
Yeah.
as well. So it's hard for him to get a chance in the squad too because Ten Hag doesn't even get to look at him.
Hmm.
But yeah, going back to the takeaways again, Ahmad, in my opinion, should be any more minutes, especially when you have Hoyland out
Hmm.
because you could play him right wing, left wing, or even you could play him in the midfield.
He's a very versatile player. So
He
it
is.
really makes sense to be playing him when we don't have a set attacking setup because he can really slot in anywhere. You know,
Yeah,
even
indeed.
we were saying like he could play in Bruno Fernandes's role even because Bruno has been pretty shaky recently too. Like he hasn't been putting in top performances, and he's the captain too, so he should be setting the standard. And he's been kind of, I mean, he tends to usually do like moping and whining and all that stuff, but usually he like makes up for it with a good performance. So you kind of look past that. But when he doesn't play well and he still whines and rolls on the floor, like you're like, come on, man, just like
Do
enough
something.
enough of that, do something. But it hasn't come
Yeah.
recently. So Ahmad, I think, can definitely play anywhere in those attacking roles.
Yeah, and every match that I watch, I'm always hopeful at the start of the match. I'm like, hey, maybe
Hmm.
something's going to change. Maybe this they're going to seem more lively, more energetic. It just seems the same old at this point. I mean,
Hmm.
for me, I don't know how you interpreted it, but when we were starting this season or starting the year 2024, yes, we were winning matches, but for me, it was never really
Hmm.
convincingly winning matches. A lot of them, like Luton, we had gone up 2-0 very quickly, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're about to spank Luton.
Hmm.
And we should because we're Manchester United. But then they score a goal right after. And now for the rest of the match, I'm freaking out thinking
Yeah.
we might we might bottle this. And even with all the chances we had where we probably should have scored a lot more in that match,
Hmm.
I wouldn't have been surprised if Luton scored an equalizer, maybe even a winner.
Hmm.
So I don't know. For me, it's
And that was like the
we need
the
a
same
shakeup,
with
man.
the FA Cup game. Was it like Newport County? I think.
Yeah, four
Weren't we
two.
winning? was 4. It ended up being 4-2, but wasn't it
Yeah.
2-2 at
It was
halftime or something like that?
yeah,
Like we were up 2-0 or
they scored quickly. It was 2-1 at halftime, then they scored right after halftime. It was
yeah,
2-2.
and it was 2-2. Like
Yeah.
we should not be making games like those
Against
so
Newport
close.
County.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's a shame. But yeah, going back to it, I think we should, for me, I would shake it up a little bit. I mean, obviously Ten Hag is, I don't know whether he's in trying to be self-surviving or self-survival mode, but
hmm
he seems so conservative with his tactics, and he's not very willing to try something new or be aggressive, because you always see at the end of matches too, he'll sub on Johnny Evans for someone like I don't know, he'll take like a midfielder or even a striker off and sub on Johnny Evans. And for me it's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, this is not like, this is Manchester United. Like, what are we doing here? Like, that's just such a weak move in my opinion.
hmm
But I don't know. I guess it's self-preservation for him. But let's move on from the game, because Fulham match, we don't need to talk about it anymore. It was already annoying enough. Chris, we've got a new segment for the podcast. We're trying to introduce some games, some stuff like that, make it fun. So, Chris, we're going to be playing Guess Who today. And for anybody who does not know the rules of the game, basically with Guess Who, you've got all these different people, and I don't know how I'm going to edit this yet, but we'll figure it out. Basically, I'll ask Chris a question. He'll pick a person. And so for this game, we're going to be using the Manchester United roster. So Chris will pick a person. Let's say he picks Victor Lindelof. I could ask the question, does this player play for a European international team? And he could say yes. So then I can mark off all the players that aren't on it. For example, Casemiro.
hmm
It can't be Casemiro, obviously. So then we have to ask more questions to get down to who it is. And then the first person to guess the other person's player wins the game. So pretty simple. But with
Sounds
this,
fun.
we're going to make sure we ask subjective questions,
Yeah.
because it could be really easy if we ask pretty easy questions like, oh, is the person blonde? And Chris says yes. Okay, well, you've only got Hojlund, Anthony, Garnacho, and a few others.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's also debatable with blonde. But we're going to try to ask subjective questions to make it a little bit more fun. So I'm going to go ahead and get out my notebook. Chris, first of all, pick your player, and how should we do this? All right, I'm going to pick my player, and I've got the roster pulled up. Also, not to mention, we're not doing any players that are on loan, or I don't think we need to have like Shola or Tire. Any players that are actually in around the first squad.
Yeah.
So like no Shola or Tire, no Willie Kumbwala.
Just the most
Yeah, and
not
no
obscure players.
no
but
Tom
just, like,
Heaton. Yeah.
Tom Heaton.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna pick Tom Heaton.
Oh, you're gonna pick Tom Heaton?
No, not anymore.
Okay. All right, let me think of my player. All right, I've got my player. Okay, Chris,
Okay, I have my.
you got your player?
Yeah.
All right, you can go first. You can ask a question first.
Damn, asking a subject. Like, I want to ask, like, do you think do you think this player is good? But that's such a lame question.
You could ask that, or you could ask things like, I guess here, let me go first so I can give you an
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
All right.
Give me an example.
Okay, Chris, the game is tight, and we're entering the last few minutes of the match. We need a goal to win the game. Is this player one of the type of players that could pull a goal off like that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Definitely yes.
Okay. I'm gonna write down the guesses I think it could be. Okay. All right, Chris, your turn.
Okay. Does this player have the mentality and leadership to captain Manchester United?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so.
This is tough because what if like you think he does, but I would think he doesn't. But
I
it's
think
good though.
I think it's pretty consensus. I would say yes to that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So for me, the strategy I'm using is I've written down some players that I think could, like I said,
Uh-huh.
score in the last couple minutes, and then I'm gonna kind of use those players now to try and narrow it down from
Mhm.
there. Okay. Is this player a player that strictly would play one position, or a player that you could probably see as like a utility player that you could put him at striker, you could put him at center mid, you could put him at left wing, you could, I don't know, not those specific positions, but you could kind of a utility guy where you
You
could
can
put in
move him
multiple
around.
positions. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I would say he's versatile
Okay.
in different positions.
Um,
Well, I guess whether or not he would be good in those positions is something else. But like
well, like
he like
has he moved to
he
different?
has played
Okay.
different positions.
Okay. Oh well, now I'm okay. All right, your turn.
Um, okay, would this player be considered in as one of our better performers this season so far?
Uh, yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one, but I would say so. Yeah. Okay,
I guess
let's
that's not true
go.
of everyone, but
Is this player a player that would has a good future for their international squad? A player that you think will probably start in the next.
yes. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Or wait. Let me rephrase that. Is this a player that is currently playing for the national squad? Like pretty, like you would say, probably is a feature for the national squad.
Uh, I would definitely say future.
Future.
I don't think he's playing right now.
Okay. Okay. Ooh. Hmm. Interesting. All right, your turn.
Um, does this player or do most United fans generally is do United fans generally love this player, or are they very split on him, or do they not like him?
I would say, I would say that they're split.
They're
I'd
split.
say it's probably more like, but it's definitely a split.
Is it
It's
like
not
a
like 100%.
top Reds versus like LUHG hate, or just kind
I
of
don't know.
just like some people say he's good and some people say
I
not
think
so
people
much.
definitely love him, but there's also people who like, yeah, might not.
Okay.
All right, I have two people right now that I'm thinking of your players, so I'm gonna guess one.
Okay.
Also, since you went second, you always get to guess after. All right, so I'm gonna guess Alejandro Garnacho.
Am I saying yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That's him.
All right, so now you get to guess.
Oh God.
Wait, how many players do you have right now, by the way?
I don't even know. I'm trying to go. I probably maybe have like 5 or 6.
Oh shoot.
So
Okay,
I'm
well,
just gonna shoot.
all right, go for
So
it.
could be a captain. Generally been good this season. The fans split. Um, I'm gonna say McTominay.
Oh wow, yes,
No way.
Scott
Let's
McTominay. That's
go.
crazy. That's hype.
Let's
Yeah, I
go.
feel like I answered those questions right. What do you
Yeah,
think?
no, those are good answers.
Okay. Well, I also when I asked my first question, I was kind of projecting from mine because I
Uh
was
huh.
like, oh, what if he had McTominay too? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked like, oh, if it's like the 90th minute,
Uh
like you
huh.
need somebody to score. I was kind of
Yeah.
projecting my own
Yeah.
answer. All right. Well, so I guess we're tied, but
Oh,
no,
yeah,
let's
and
do
I was
another
gonna
round.
ask. Garnacho's not in the Argentina squad yet, right? He probably will be soon,
I mean,
but
I think
right
he
now
like I think he's
he's
like
in like
maybe a
the youth ones,
sub.
I think.
No, I think he's
Like
like a sub now,
he wasn't
but
at the
like
World Cup.
only recently. Yeah, no, he wasn't at the World Cup, but he's like only recently become like a sub in like friendlies and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, like I think he'll eventually. That's why, yeah, because if you had said that he was definitely a feature, I would have put McTominay or like Bruno or someone like that.
Yeah.
But okay, all right, let's do another one. Let's do another one. All right, think of your player. Okay, let's go with. Are we doing injured players too?
Yeah, we can do injured players. Just
All
no one
right.
on loan for Tom or Tom Heaton.
Poor Tom Heaton.
Damn, what do you got against Tom? My boy Tom.
Okay, we can add him in there if you want. All the goalkeepers are fair game, the three of them.
Okay. Not gonna lie, I don't really know much about Bates
All
and
time.
though.
All right, I got my guy.
Okay. So do I.
All right, you get to ask the question first now.
Go first now. Does this player have a long future at United? Do you think he'll be in the team in the coming years?
How long are we talking? Like
Like
five,
maybe the
10?
next like 5 to 7 years.
That's tough. I would. I'm optimistic, so I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
I mean, I would hope, honestly. Okay. All right, for my question, let's go. Is this player a player that you would say never takes a playoff? Like they always give like 100%. You always like notice their effort.
I'm gonna say no.
You're gonna say no. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you go.
Um. Is this a player that Ten Hag usually prefers and like chooses over others usually? Does he have a soft spot for him?
Um, I would say no. Currently, I would say no. It's hard to answer that one though. Yeah, no, actually, I would say no. Okay, I'm still writing down because Loki, there could be a lot of players who don't give
Yeah.
effort. Well, also that's subjective. That's a tough question, honestly.
Effort, yeah, because in one game they could be putting an effort in the next.
It's also hard to
But
measure
it's
like a
just like,
goalkeeper's effort. But like players like Lisandro Martinez, for example, like
yeah,
you never
exactly.
question him. Like Bruno Fernandez, Lisandro Martinez,
Uh-huh.
Casemiro, players like that. Okay. Actually, I don't think he could. Um, I'm pretty sure Malacia gives his effort every time he plays. So does Delo. I'm not gonna have him on there. Shaw, I feel like does, but like he just gets injured all the time. I'm gonna keep him on the list though. Onana, Tom Heaton. That's the thing. Like Tom, I don't know if Tom gives effort. All right, all right, all right. My next question,
It's your turn, right? I think.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah, yeah, it is. Okay. Let's say we've got a penalty shootout. Do you want this player taking your penalty, or do you not want this player taking your penalty in
yes.
like a big in a
Yeah, yeah.
final?
Uh huh.
You do want
I
them to take
trust him.
it.
I trust him with the pen.
Okay. Oh fuck that! Oh shoot, that did not really help me too much, honestly. Okay, I guess I took three people's names off. Oh, four. All right, your turn.
Um, would would you be sad if this player was sold or went on loan?
This summer.
Yeah, this summer.
Um, I mean, I wouldn't be like heartbroken, but I would be a little sad.
I guess that helps a bit.
That's a tough one. Yeah, I'd be like a little sad, but I wouldn't be like devastated.
Okay.
Like it wouldn't be the end of the world, but
Are
I'd
there are
definitely
there
like,
any players that you would be devastated? Like how on the
yeah.
scale of
Well, like if like Lissandro got sold, I'd be like,
yeah.
dang. If Rashford got sold, even though like he hasn't been great this year, I'd still be like,
Uh,
dang. Like if Hojlund somehow went to Real Madrid, I would be like, oh my god, I would be so pissed. If Garnacho, oh my, okay, I think this is probably the top one actually. If Garnacho went to Real Madrid,
yeah.
especially like Mbappe going there, I'd be like,
Uh-huh.
really, dude? Like, I'd be really pissed. Um, yeah. Wait, oh wait, I shouldn't be telling you all that. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I just
All
crossed
right.
off a bunch of players. Thanks.
Dang. Okay.
They weren't shortlisted anyway though. So
Okay. Okay. Let's go with. Um, would you say that this player could compete in, or actually, hold up. Would you say this player, if their international team went on a deep run in whatever tournament it might be, like the Euros, the whatever AFCON, South America Cup, whatever it is, if their team went on a deep run, like would they be pretty involved? Like they'd be heavily impactful in that or no?
I would say yes. I think so.
Wait, why did I even ask that? Because
I
all
think
four of the players I have right now all would do that. Dang it, that was stupid. All right, well I can't even cross anyone off after that. Was stupid. That was a dumb question. All right, your turn.
um
How many players do you have right now?
I have a few, maybe like around 4 or 5, I think.
Okay, wait. Before you
Oh,
go, can you read off those names?
um yeah, okay. I'm gonna say
I'll read off my
Delo,
names too.
Delo, Ahmad, um maybe Mount and Shaw.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna read off my names: Rashford, Erickson, Maguire, and Victor Lindelof.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to do one
It's,
more round of questions and then we'll guess?
yeah. Well, you can guess whenever, but yeah. All right, your turn. It's
Yeah,
your turn.
let's do one question each and then we'll guess.
Okay. Okay. And then if we both get it wrong, we keep going.
Mhm.
All right, your question.
Um, hmm. I think you asked this in the previous round, but I think it'd be a good question. Is this player, uh, like, not just like is he um like versatile? Can he play in multiple positions, like and play them well? Like, would if he was put anywhere, would he put in a good shift?
Um, I'd say he typically plays a certain position, but he could maybe fill in. Not like it wouldn't be ideal, but it would
Mm-hmm.
still it could probably work. But he typically plays a singular type of position. Okay, my question: is this a player that could score a direct free kick? You would think.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, that actually helped. Okay, I have two names now. Wait, we should run back through the question. I can't even think of all the questions I was asking.
No.
Oh wait. Okay, so I said they give effort all the time, and then I also do they give effort all the time? You said no, and
hmm
then I said if they were on their like international team and they had a deep run in whatever
hmm
tournament, would they be impactful in that? You said yes,
hmm
and then I said score a free kick. Yes. What was the other one
The
I asked? Oh, the
a late
penalty.
penalty.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, wait, hold
That's
on.
why I kept Victor Lindelof and Maguire on there because the penalty. Because
Yeah,
Lindelof scored the winner against
yeah.
Brighton, and Maguire always bangs them.
He's a
He's good at
he's
pens.
banging in penalties.
Okay.
Wait, what
All
did
right. You go
wait
ahead and guess first.
wait? He said he'd be kind of upset if they left. He's
Yeah.
not Ten Hag's favorite generally. Um, he can be versatile, and
But yeah, he ideally sticks to a certain position.
okay, I think I have a guess.
Go for it.
Ahmad.
Ahmad. Okay, I'm gonna wait to give you your answer until
Okay,
I guess. Okay.
okay,
All right. My guess is Christian Eriksen.
okay,
All right. In three, two, one, we'll give a thumbs up or thumbs down. Okay.
okay.
Three, two, one. Hey, let's
No.
go. That's huge. That's actually
Wait.
huge.
Was the four that I gave, was he on that list or no?
Yeah, yeah, he was on
He
the list.
was. Shit, who did I
Yeah.
say? I said Ahmad, Shaw, Delo, and Mount. Um,
Guess again.
fuck, Mount's been injured for so long though. Mount. Say Mount.
Yep, it was Mason
Mount.
Mount. That okay. It was tough to answer some of the questions because you were like, "Is he Ten
Yeah,
Hag's favorite?" I don't know that yet. Like, it's.
yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
he brought
Uh
him
huh.
in, but like, he did bench him a few times,
Yeah.
so it's hard to like answer that. And then, what were your other questions?
I guess you'd probably be more pissed if Ahmad left than Mount, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like if Ahmad left, I'd be actually be kind of pissed because I don't know why I do kind of like
Uh
him for
huh.
some reason,
I do
but like
too.
Mount, I'd still okay. I'd still be. Oh, you asked about future, like 5 years down the
Oh
line,
yeah, yeah,
which that might have thrown you off my answer, but that's just my genuine. Like I
yeah.
hope he has a future at United, and I'd
Mhm.
I'd like to think that he should because we bought him for a decent amount of
Yeah.
money, you know. So I don't know. I feel like that was the right answer. And then, dude, that was fun though.
That was fun.
Okay, all right. So I take the dub this time. We should keep like a
Tally or
for
something.
the rest of the podcast. Just keep a count of each dub every
Yeah.
podcast. There's a winner. Okay, but back to the podcast though. That was fun.
That
But
was
back
really fun.
to the depressing Manchester United stuff. We're gonna talk about our injury crisis.
Oh man,
So
the injuries.
we we still don't have Lissandro Martinez back. We don't have Shaw because he's out for probably the rest of the season now.
Yeah, the
And
rest of the season.
Hoyland, yeah, Hoyland picked up an injury last week for about 2 or 3 weeks, so he's out for another 1 to 2 weeks, which means he's going to be missing our match against Forest tomorrow, and then our match against Manchester City on Sunday. Is it Sunday or Saturday?
Sa- Sunday, the
This
third.
this weekend, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's missing those matches, which are huge because Forest at the FA
Mhm.
Cup away is going to be a tough one,
Yeah.
and then City obviously
And
is going to
realistically,
be tough.
the FA Cup is the only chance we have at winning a trophy this season. So it is a
True,
huge.
true,
It's a huge game.
true. You don't think we'll win the league, Chris? No, okay. And then
Title
also
charge.
Tyrell Malacia, bro, has just ghosted us.
Bro just
Fully
dipped.
fell off the
Dipped.
face of the planet of the Earth. Like I don't know where bro is. And then Mason Mount. I keep hearing Mason Mount's
Uh-huh.
coming back soon. Mason Mount's coming back soon. I see pictures
I
of
thought
him in
he was in
practice.
training.
Yeah, yeah. Where is
But
this
like
man?
weeks
I don't
ago,
know.
I thought he was in training.
It's disappointing because yeah, we bought him over the summer. But yeah, okay. Do you think injury crisis is enough for Ten Hag to use that as an excuse, as a way to not get sacked, or do you think it's a problem that
I
he
mean,
can't
I don't think
adapt to it?
you can say it as an excuse to get sacked, but you can definitely give it as an excuse for consistency issues and real lack of structure or setup or maybe style of play because the two key players we've seen over last season and this season when they were fit or for how we play are Shaw and Martinez. They're so important in how we build up and how we progress the ball, and we've seen it's night and day when they play versus when they don't. So I think you can definitively say that their absence has really negatively affected the team, and we don't have apt replacements for them to shift in and to do what they do. So in that sense, it's I don't want to say excuse, but you also kind of rely on them because you don't have backups, and that goes back to squad depth and needing multiple players to play the same parts in multiple positions. So from that sense, yeah, but also like you were saying earlier, look at like Ole. I think this squad is better than the squad Ole had, but Ole still found a way kind of how to stable the ship at times and work around the injuries and the lack of maybe quality, if you'd say, in certain positions. Um,
Yeah. I
so
don't know if in the
what do you
end
think?
Ole had the most
In the end,
sustainable
yeah.
way of playing because again, it was switch he switched up the way we played so many times
Hmm.
that at a certain point it was just like, okay, what is our style of play? And we'd be winning some big games, right? Against teams like
Hmm.
Manchester City. Didn't he get second one year or
Second,
was it third? I don't
second.
know. He had some pretty big accomplishments in my opinion for the team he had, but
Hmm.
at the same time, there was his last season. It wasn't very great, and it was just
Hmm.
really unsustainable. So I don't know. I think he was kind of not beginner's luck per se, but he did get a little bit of luck in certain ways. So I don't know. I think Ten Hag. Obviously, we saw his style of play at Ajax, and I like you and I both think maybe you a little bit more. We both have faith in him
Hmm.
to right the ship at some point, but it is a process and it is something that Manchester United fans aren't really used to. We're not as bad as Chelsea fans are when it comes to needing or hoping for a new manager every 5 days. But at Ajax, it took him a while to be able to develop not only the first team but also the youth system. He had a lot of input on what was going on with the youth system, and here at Manchester United, it's taken him some time. But I don't know if you noticed, but with the U18s, they've been flourishing this
Yeah.
season, and a lot of
Haven't they?
people.
They've won like every single game. I think.
I think they've won almost every single game, which is pretty impressive, and they're winning their league pretty easily and stuff.
Hmm.
And hopefully that means that down the line we'll start to see some of those guys make it into the first team. And I don't know exactly how much of a hand Ten Hag has had in that, but
Hmm.
there's been some reports and rumors that I've seen saying that he has had more of a closer look into the youth academy this season than he had last season. Because last season he was really just trying to max out everything
Hmm.
he could with the first team, but being the manager, you can have more of an impact on the entirety of the youth team, the main team,
Yeah.
just so many things. But I don't know. I think in time we'll see if we get to stay with Ten Hag
Hmm.
or if he stays with us. Hopefully it'll work out. But who knows? He might not have enough time, especially with the new owners. That
Hmm.
was another point I wanted to ask you about
Yeah.
with the new owners coming in place because you saw Sir Jim Ratcliffe. He was interviewed recently. And they asked him, "Are you committed to having Ten Hag as the new manager, not new manager, but the manager going forward for
Hmm.
Manchester United once Ineos kind of takes over this summer?" And he wasn't really answering. He wasn't giving a full yes or no. He
Yeah.
was kind of just dodging the question and didn't
I
really seem
mean.
to commit to Ten Hag. But
Uh-huh.
I mean, you can't just like fully commit to him, especially when you're the new owners. You kind of have to assess the whole situation. What do you think on that?
I mean, yeah, that's not really a question you're meant to give a yes or no to. It's not like a question that he's expected to say. Like, because what if he said, "Yeah, we're gonna sack Ten Hag, or we're gonna really consider the manager situation." It's gonna put unnecessary pressure on the team and the manager. So, I think he was right to kind of just let that kind of slide and kind of shift the question into this is the issue at Manchester United hasn't been the managers recently. It's been the lack of structure behind them and the lack of transparency between the owners and the board and the managers. So basically, what he was saying was, we look at all the managers we've had. We've had very good coaches since Sir Alex left, and none of them have been successful. Successful meaning winning leagues and Champions Leagues and stuff. We haven't been a successful club since Sir Alex retired, and he was saying that doesn't come down to the quality of manager. That comes down to the lack of structure behind them and the organization to give them the tools needed to build a strong squad and win titles. And that just hasn't been here since uh, even before Sir Alex. Sir Alex obviously did a lot of great stuff on his own, but with since he's retired, we haven't had someone to really stable that ship and build a strong culture around them. So I think he gave a good answer in my opinion that he's looking to build a strong team that can provide the opportunities for the coach and the team to win matches and eventually win titles. So Yeah, and from the people he's brought in so far, I think it's looking good, and we'll obviously see over the summer what um how this turns out. But I think it's been a good first few weeks to this Ineos reign, and we'll see how it goes in the future.
Yeah, it's really fascinating with Ineos coming in because a lot of Manchester United fans, us included, we
Hmm.
even have videos where we're talking about how we'd
Yeah.
love to have Qatar come in. We'd love this. Like we, no way, Sir Jim Ratcliffe should come in. All
Hmm.
these different things, and now it seems like the whole, I guess, vibe of Ineos has completely changed amongst the
Hmm.
fans, and the whole perspective on Sir Jim Ratcliffe has completely changed because it seems like he's doing everything right at the moment. I mean,
Yeah.
he's just come in, and there's not much he can be doing right now. And
Hmm.
he's been making some appointments, and they're looking to get maybe Dan Ashworth in from Newcastle, which would be huge as well. So, like you said, he's doing everything he can do, and it only time will tell. Like once we get to the summer,
Hmm.
we'll be able to see, hey, he bought this player, he bought this player. Everything seems like it's going in the right direction though when it comes to the
Yeah.
management and some of the things they've been saying too. How he and I think Ten Hag even said it too that the manager and the directors or whoever's
Hmm.
in management would have to discuss deeply about what direction they're looking to go to in terms of tactics, what players they need for those tactics, and things like that. So I don't know whether that'll have an impact on they're trying to implement new tactics and Ten Hag has to somehow conform to that if he wants
Hmm.
to stay as a manager, or whether they're going to fully buy into Ten Hag's tactics and then try to help him out by scouting players that'll fit into that system. Because
Yeah.
for me, like I was saying earlier, it seems like Ten Hag has been pretty reliant on us being able to have the fit squad, and it's
Hmm.
hard for him to really have all the players he wants because under previous management, we haven't been able to do business in the best ways possible. It's always been
Yeah.
very lackluster when it comes to the summer, always been very last second, and then we overpay, so we can't pay for other
Hmm.
players. So we can't get as much depth as we needed. We got some good pieces in, but we don't have like an overhaul. We didn't have an overhaul last summer. And so this summer, it's going to be interesting to see whether the new owners are kind of, cutthroat and more of a let's get the players we need to get out and get the players we need to get in
Hmm.
because like why is Martial still at Manchester United?
Hmm.
Why is a player like I don't know? I mean, I hate to say it, but why is a player like Luke Shaw low key like it's kind of on the chopping block if it comes down to like injury
In,
report? You
injury.
can't you can't rely on a player like that,
But
And
then
then
you.
same with a player like Victor Lindelof. Like, what is he doing in
Uh,
Manchester United? Still, like, he should be
no, I love
looking for new
Lindelof.
opportunities somewhere else. I mean, I like him. He's a likable guy, but at the same time, he's not the center back of the future at Manchester United. Same with,
Starting
I mean,
right
I don't know.
now,
Harry
yeah, he's
Maguire.
good.
Harry Maguire's looked pretty good, but I
I'd
will
rather
say,
Lindelof over Maguire.
I don't know, man. Maguire's been pretty good this season. When he plays, like, yeah, that's a fitness thing. But yeah, Rafael Varane, it's going to be a hard.
Hmm.
He's a great player in my opinion, and when he plays, I think he plays pretty well. But
Hmm.
again, he's super old, somewhat injury prone. Not as bad this season as he was last season, but you got to get players in who are sustainable, who can stay fit, who can employ Ten Hag's
Hmm.
tactics or the tactics you'd want to employ. So it's going to be an interesting summer to see, especially when it comes down to recruitment, just all these different things. But that's looking too far ahead in the future. Let's look in the near future. Chris, we've got a match coming up tomorrow against Nottingham Forest, FA Cup match away at Nottingham Forest. Are you excited? What are the vibes for this match? Because for me personally,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
If you look at obviously the most recent match against Fulham, we already talked about. It's not looking good into it, uh, going into it. But this is the last chance we have at winning a trophy, unless we somehow win the Premier League, which probably very unlikely at this point. But yeah, realistically, what is it, the fifth round I think against Forest. So it
Something
is a
like that,
big
yeah.
game. It's away, but we have we've played Forest twice this season. We've beat them one time, or we beat them at home the first time back in the beginning of the season, and then we lost to them recently away after uh, right before the new year, I think.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, our main goal scorer of late, Hojlund, is still out, so we have to figure out where we're going to get goals from. But if we, I don't know, if we play. Obviously, if we played like we did against Fulham, then we're probably not going to win. But Forest also have been on a really crappy run. They haven't. I think they have one win in their last many games. So um, hopefully we can pull this one off. But you never know. You never know with United.
You never know.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
and in the last round against Bristol City for Nottingham Forest, they tied the first match 0-0, and then I
Oh,
believe
they
the
did a
next match
replay.
was 1-1. Yeah, they did a replay. It was 1-1, and they had to win on penalties. So that's not a great look for them as
Mm-hmm.
well. I think Bristol City are in the championship. They're one of the lower teams in the championship, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, look at us against Newport. So you can't
Yeah.
you can't exactly say that. But I don't know. I'm kind of nervous for the match. Again, without Hojlund, it's going to be kind of tough to get goals. We need Rashford to step up. We need Garnacho to step
Mm-hmm.
up. Speaking of those players, let's go over our starting 11 because for me, I would shake things up, but I think if we predict how Ten Hag is going to start
Yeah.
it, it's probably going to be pretty similar to the starting lineup against
Mm-hmm.
Fulham. So let's
Definitely.
start on goal. Obviously, Onana.
Onana.
Nothing changed there. He's actually been playing kind of well, honestly.
Yeah.
He's made some pretty big saves. If against Fulham, he had
Mm-hmm.
some pretty big saves.
Mm-hmm.
And then
He was
center
from
backs.
what I've seen, he was probably our best player against Fulham.
Yeah,
In my
he probably
opinion.
was. Center backs. Varane and
Maguire.
Maguire still.
Maguire. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's
Below
just
it.
running with
Below
that.
it. Right back. You think
Yeah.
it's gonna be Lindelof again?
I mean, who
Who do
else
you
would play there?
Who do you
You know?
see? I mean, Amrabat played left back early in the season, but I think
He seems like he doesn't want to play Amrabat
I think
lately.
he was available against Fulham. I'm pretty sure he was on the bench. So
Yeah. I
if he
mean,
didn't
I
play him
would
then,
play. He's not going to play
yeah.
him.
What
Yeah.
are your thoughts?
So
I've seen online a lot recently. A lot of people are saying Anthony should play left back because he's useless on at right wing. What do you think about that?
I mean, he's got pace. He actually does defend probably more than he attacks. Honestly,
Hmm. But
I'm not
like
gonna say he's like the greatest
he can't
defender,
play that Luke Shaw
but
inverted left center back role.
who
There's
would
no way.
play? Who's the right winger for? Is Alenga the right winger for? Not is he left winger for Nottingham
I think
Forest?
he's right wing actually.
Dude, he would. Oh my god, he
He
would
would dust
eat.
Lindelof
He would eat Anthony up. No, bro, he would eat Anthony up, bro.
over
He would dust
Lindelof though.
Lindelof too. I'm putting Delo against him because I think Delo could play pretty well against him. And Delo can play
So
both
then who's
sides.
gonna play right back, or do we play back
Probably
three? Like,
Lindelof.
what's your? I don't think
I
we're
mean,
playing back
again,
three.
if we had our say, it'd probably be different. But if we're predicting how Ten Hag is going to line them up, I'd say he's probably going to put Delo on whatever side Alanga's on. So he'll probably put him at left back, and then he'll put Lindelof at right back.
Hmm.
Midfield will probably be the same. It'll be Kobe, Casemiro, and Bruno, most likely.
Hmm.
And then I think the only position that really could change from the
Right
Fulham
wing.
match is right wing because Forson didn't look great. I mean, he's young and the whole team was kind of
Hmm.
looking bad, so it's hard for him to look great. So I would put Ahmad up there.
I would
I think
too.
Ahmad played well. He had a nice little cameo
Hmm.
against Fulham. He at least looked somewhat positive compared to the rest of the team. So I think I don't know if Ten Hag has any type of sense. He should put
Hmm.
Ahmad at right wing or maybe the midfield. I don't know, and put Bruno at right wing. But we'll see. Rashford probably up top, Garnacho
Hmm.
left wing or right wing. We'll see.
I think Garnacho would play left wing, especially if Olanga's right wing, because Garnacho is generally good at tracking back too. So and he has pace.
Yeah.
So I think he could definitely help out. I think it's gonna be. I would say Lindelof would stay at left back, and then
Okay.
if he's up against Olanga, then he would need Garnacho to help him out back
True.
there.
True.
So
Okay. So we got
that's the thing. Our
Onana.
midfield is not very pacey though.
It's
So
true.
it's hard because Forest they do like to go. They do have a very quick attack, so they're fast on the break. So if we're playing a high line and we're trying to control possession in their final third, then if we lose possession, we could be screwed on the counter. So hopefully this is
Yeah.
what Ten Hag is thinking about how to set up so to limit their counterattacks, but it's in
Yeah,
God's
because
hands. It's in God's hands.
for me, if I'm Nottingham Forest, I'm ecstatic if
Yeah.
Lindelof, if
Mhm.
the three defenders that stay back are Lindelof, Varane, and Maguire, because
Yeah.
Varane's the only real
My
one that has
God.
any type of pace there, and
Dude.
Delo gets forward all the time, so it's hard for him to get back all the time. So oh my, those three,
This is just lowered my predictions for the
Dude,
match.
just thinking about that makes
Yeah.
me think we're gonna get battered. All
Score,
right, well let's just move on to our prediction then.
score
Chris,
predictions.
you go first. Score
Oh
prediction.
man.
Now that we just said that, my score
Now that
prediction
we
is a
just said
lot
that,
lower.
the moods are soured. Um, I don't know. I try to be positive with these things, but
It's not
thinking
looking great right
realistically,
now.
we don't have goals to come from anywhere. So who knows if we can even score? And we'll probably concede a few. Dude,
Probably
I could see this being like two, like we'll lose 2-0 or something like that.
two
I wouldn't be
nil.
surprised.
Dang. Okay, well you know what?
Especially
I'm gonna be
especially on the back of that Fulham defeat.
true, true. You're being realistic. I'm gonna be optimistic. I'm
Yes,
going
be
for
optimistic.
I'm going for a 3-2 victory
I like
with
it.
a Rashford brace and a Garnacho 95th minute winner. A Garnacho
Yeah.
95th minute winner that's like a banger too, and then
Uh,
everyone goes crazy. We're gonna be jumping up and celebrating like nuts.
that
So
would be
that's what I'm going
great.
with.
I hope you're
That'd be
right.
insane.
I hope I'm wrong.
I think Alanga will probably score, and
hmm
then maybe their striker, what's his name? Owanyu? I forgot how to pronounce his name honestly, but he's pretty
Okay.
fast too, so he could cause Maguire some
I like
problems
I like Gibbs
potentially.
White as well.
Gibbs White is also a great
Gibbs
player.
White's
I would
really
love
good.
to see him at United. But yeah, all right. So 3-2 is mine. 2-0.
0-2.
You don't think we're scoring?
2-0. Dude, I don't know. Unless Maguire gets a lucky tap in
Nah,
the end.
McTominay is coming on, man. McTominay is coming
McTominay.
on. You know what?
Yeah,
McTominay could be in for a start if you think about it.
it's true.
Like a cup
Oh, is
match. Bring
Casemiro?
bring
Remember
the
he went off
energy.
with a head injury. Is he even fit?
Oh no, he's good though.
He's good.
I think he's good. Did he wait? Did he go off for that? Yeah, he
Remember?
did. Wait, I think it might have been a precaution though because he had a yellow card too.
Oh.
I don't know. I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine. I haven't
Do you
heard
think
anything about him
where
being
would
like badly injured.
who if McTominay played? Who would he replace in the midfield?
Casemiro probably,
It could be Casemiro.
and then we put Kobe kind of deeper. Yeah, I think that's what we would do. I don't know. Yeah.
But then,
You know what? Maybe McTominay scores the winner. He scores the late
maybe,
winner.
maybe.
Rashford, Garnacho scores first. Rashford, then McTominay late winner.
Mhm.
Hey, bro, I'd be moved. I'd be
Yeah.
moved. All right, so we got that. And before we head out, we also unfortunately have to speak about the Manchester City,
Ah,
the Manchester City match this weekend. I don't want to talk about it, and we're not going to go too deep into it.
no.
I don't even need to look at any Manchester City news, any team news, or anything like that. I just know they're going to win. I have no doubt in my mind we're losing that pretty heavily.
Yeah.
I'm going for like maybe 4-0. 4-0 loss. We can just jump right into the
Yeah.
predictions because I
No,
don't want to talk too much about it.
We're going to the Etihad, where without Hojlund, without Martinez, without Shaw, City are in a title race, and we're in like fifth or sixth right now. So it's not looking good.
We're
But
in sixth. Yeah,
we're in sixth.
it's not ideal.
Not
What is
ideal.
your score prediction for that match?
God, I would. It could be. I'll say 3-0.
I'm going 4-0. I don't think it's gonna be pretty ugly. Chris, with that too, if let's say we lose to Nottingham Forest and we lose to Manchester City,
hmm
do you think the sack is coming?
Uh,
I don't want any maybes. I want a yes or
gonna
a
say
no.
no. I'm still gonna say
You're
no.
still gonna say no.
I think for Ten Hag to get sacked this season, we would have to be losing like every single game. Like every single like it would have to just like really tank. I really don't see it this season. All the, is it Ratcliffe's decision like now though? Is it like confirm like it's his decision now or is it still
I
the
don't.
Glazers' decision?
I think it's Radcliffe's
Because
decision now because
if it's the
the sale
Glazers'
has gone through.
decision, they're not gonna make the decision for Ratcliffe. So they're
Yeah,
gonna
I think
wait until Ratcliffe has the decision making power to do that.
I'm pretty sure the
But is
decision,
it
like the
it's like confirmed
yeah, the
now.
sale is confirmed. So I'm pretty certain it's in Radcliffe's hands.
I still don't because what's the point of sacking Ten Hag and then trying to steady the ship until the end of the season? Like trying to get top four, I guess. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I think with the ownership, I would still say no because I think the ownership is kind of just going to be like, all right, we'll just wait till the summer, and then that's when we'll make
They're
our kind
just
of
gonna
cutthroat
wait till the
decisions.
summer to make anything. I really don't see Ten Hag getting sacked. I mean, unless we just
Okay.
unless it just goes like horribly, horribly, horribly wrong. But
Yeah, it'd have to be like a 10-0 defeat to City, which, hey, I don't know. All right, but I'm not gonna say that. We gotta be optimistic, Chris. I'm changing my prediction to Man City.
yeah,
We're gonna win 4-0 actually.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, watch out, City.
yeah.
Nah, it ain't happening. But okay, that was it for us today. Unfortunately, we had to talk about a lot of depressing stuff. We got to play a game in there today. That was
Game
kind of
was
fun.
fun. That was my
Game
highlight
was fun.
of the episode.
Yeah, we'll keep doing some games. We'll try to
Keep-
throw in some fun stuff in there. But yeah, that's all we got for you guys today. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, tell your family, tell your mother, tell your brother,
Tell your
tell
mother.
anyone you know, and
Tell
have
the
a good
fam.
rest of your day, guys. Peace.
Peace.